Hey everybody, Sick this here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. But first, let's talk about yesterday. As I mentioned in my video, I was busy moving around all my my whole library. As you can see, all my shelves moved around, all my movies are moved. So I was very busy with that last night I was up pretty late. So yesterday's video was a little bit rushed, and since it was a little bit rushed, I kind of messed up a bit. First, I mentioned one of the titles that I watched incorrectly. And not only did I do that, but, I then start talking about, boy, I don't know why this title is called this, because it was a documentary. I'm like, the documentary doesn't have much to do about what the title is, but I completely read the title wrong, so obviously the documentary had nothing to do with what I was reading. Once I read the title correctly, then it all made sense, so screw that up. But not only did I do that, which I did apologize for in the video, but not only did I do that, but I completely forgot to talk about a title that I watched. So let's do that quickly, and that was A Simple Twist of Fate. Now, when I picked this up a couple days ago, I mentioned that I'm a huge fan of family-friendly comedies that Steve Martin does. I love his comedies, especially his family-friendly ones. I was mentioning that, ranting raving about how great they are, so I couldn't look forward to watching this. That turns out that's not what this is. This is actually straight up drama. I mean, maybe you would say dramedy has a little bit of comedy in it, but not anything slapstick or anything typical Steve Martin. Just maybe a little chuckle here and there, but for the most part, straight up drama. But I saw the cover art here. Steve Martin with he's tied to this little girl, and I just skimmed over the back, and it mentioned that he adopts this child. I'm thinking, it's Steve Martin. He's gonna be forced into this adoption or something like that, and it's gonna be a witty comedy about him trying to raise this little girl when he knows nothing what he's doing. Sort of like Three Men and a Little Lady or something like that, but just with Steve Martin. So that's what I'm thinking, but nope, completely off. Straight up dramedy, or I guess drama. I would say. Steve Martin adopts a child. This is just in a nutshell. Steve Martin adopts a child, raises it, and in the end, the actual father of the child, he wants her back, and there's a little court battle, and you'll never guess who wins. So that's basically what it is, but it was a fantastic story, very well done. I would highly recommend this movie. It was just great. I mean, the whole time I was, really focused on the movie. It didn't have any boring moments whatsoever. A great story. The characters were fantastic, very well done. Just well written, a fantastic story. Again, I can't say enough about this. It's just, like I said, it was really, really good. So I would highly recommend checking this one out. Okay, so that's that. So let's talk about today. Today I went to my local flea market, again, grabbed some great stuff. I wouldn't necessarily say that today was a bust per se, but I didn't walk out grabbing nearly as much as I usually do. There just didn't seem to be a lot there, but definitely grabbed some great stuff. Picked up some new soundtracks for my collection. First one I grabbed here was The Wild Wild West. This was alright, kind of, hit and miss. Listened to this on my way home today from the flea market, and there was some good songs. There's a lot of skipping through songs. I do like the song Wild Wild West by Will Smith. I'm a fan of that song. I'm just a fan of Will Smith in general. I like his music. So, that's a good song, but it's the first one. Then after that, there's a lot of skipping through songs. So a couple other good songs. All in all, it was a decent listen to on my way home today, but will I be putting this in my CD player probably ever again? Wouldn't count on it. But it's basically all just, it's a lot of hip-hop and a lot of R&B from the time. And I don't have anything wrong with that. I mean, I'm not really an R&B fan. I like old school R&B, but not like new school R&B. And, hip-hop, I do like hip-hop. But, I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling a lot of the songs on here. It was just alright. I mean, like they said, music inspired by the motion picture Wild Wild West. And that's a lot of this was. A lot of it, had the themes to a lot of the songs, if not, I'm trying to think, most of them, if not all of them, had a Wild Wild West theme to it, where they're talking about the movie and stuff. So, I don't know. Like I said, hit and miss. It's alright. If you're really into hip-hop and R&B from the time, you might really like it. But otherwise, it's just okay. Then I grabbed myself another soundtrack. This I've actually owned for many years now. I did own it on CD way back in the day. Copied it to my iPod and sold the CD. So I've had it on my iPod now in MP3 form for many years. I still rock out to this all the time. I'm, just the nerd sitting in my car on the way to work, rocking out the show tunes and this entire soundtrack, and that is the soundtrack to Grease. This is probably my all-time favorite soundtrack I should say my all-time favorite non-Disney soundtrack. I mean, Disney's soundtracks are like in a league of their own. You just have to kind of separate them because they're just pretty much all fantastic. But as far as non-Disney soundtracks go, this is probably my favorite. I love every song on here. I rock out this, like I said, rock out this in my car all the time. I'm just, I'm just constantly in my car, just rocking out to like summer nights and stuff like that. Just being the dork I am. I love it. It's a fantastic soundtrack. Just the movie is so great. Just has such a great soundtrack. If you're a fan, this is something you must own. Like I said, I've had this for many years. Glad to finally have a hard copy back in my collection. So this is a great addition. So that's it for the soundtracks. Now on to the movies. First thing I grabbed was A Gun and Betty Lou's Handbag. This was just released to Blu-ray by, I believe, Mill Creek. Pretty cheap. It's like one of those like between like $5 and $7 Blu-rays. I was thinking about picking it up, but I had never seen it. I know nothing about it, so I ended up skipping on it and grabbing something else instead. But came across this today for 25 cents. Figured pick it up, check it out. If it's good, then I'll definitely replace it on Blu-ray. But just figured I want to see it first before I went out and just bought it. I have heard good things. When this movie was released to Blu-ray, a lot of people on Blu-ray.com were talking about it and saying good things. So I definitely look forward to checking this out for 25 cents. Figured just have to grab it, finally watch it, and hopefully it's as good as everybody says. The next thing I grabbed was Chasers, super cheeseball film. I remember watching this all the time. This is one of those movies that they used to play like late night on like HBO and Prism and stuff like that because it's sort of there's a bit of nudity in this movie, so it's one of those. But great movie for its time. I think this was like '94 or something like that. Just again, great film, super cheeseball. If you want to see a great 1994 cheesy movie with just some action and just like bad acting and nudity and just all the great stuff that made like a cheesy early 90s film, this is it right here. So again, super cheeseball, but it's a lot of fun. Had to grab it. Next I grabbed Apocalypse Now. I guess that's pronounced Redo, Redux. I guess it's one of those things where like the X is silent, like in Grand Prix or Hot Shots Part D. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Let me know. But this is the extended cut. Features 49 extra minutes of footage that was cut out of the theatrical cut. I do own the theatrical cut, but I haven't watched that in years. I mean, I picked that thing up, I don't know, like a long time ago. Watched it. I remember really enjoying it, but it's been so long since I've seen Apocalypse Now. I just really only remember bits and pieces of it. I can't even remember the entire story, so I wanted to watch it again, and I've been thinking about doing it, but now that I picked up the extended cut, I'm definitely going to pop this in and watch it. Can't wait to check it out. It's a classic movie. Like I said, I really remember enjoying it the first time I watched it, so definitely look forward to checking it out again, especially with the extra footage. Then I saved the best for last. As you know, I love Canon Pictures, so I had to grab myself King Solomon's Mines. I have no idea what this movie's about. I haven't even read the synopsis yet. I just know that this is a Canon Picture film, so when I saw it, had to pick it up. I mean, when it says Canon Pictures, I don't even question it. I don't care what movie it is. It's in my collection. So, had to grab it. It was $2, brand new. It wasn't open. I only opened this up about 5 minutes ago. Great deal. I cannot wait to watch this. I'm hoping it's just a great cheeseball film like Canon movies usually are. This, I'm definitely looking forward to checking out. So that's what I bought today. So now it's what I watched. What I watched was Rango. This was fantastic. Very well done. Great story. Great animation. In fact, I highly recommend you pick up the Blu-ray because the picture quality in this was crystal clear. I'm talking like right up there with Avatar. I mean, it was just a fantastic picture. I was blown away. There was so much detail. I mean, a lot of movies, newer movies and CGI movies, they look pretty good on Blu-ray, but this blew them all out of the water. This looked fantastic. But besides that, it was a great story, very funny, a lot of adult humor in this, so if you're thinking maybe, it's going to be too kiddie like some CGI movies are these days, no. Tons of adult humor, great reference to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Clint Eastwood, there's like a Clint Eastwood little cameo thing where he plays in fact, I'm pretty sure it was Clint Eastwood. I mean, I didn't IMDb that, but if it wasn't, it was somebody doing a pretty decent impression of Clint Eastwood. But it was definitely supposed to be Clint Eastwood's character playing like the Man with No Name character. He played like the the Spear of the West, I think it was. It was great. So a lot of adult humor, like I said, a lot of adult humor, a lot of adult references. This is definitely a movie for kids and adults. I mean, kids will just like it because it's a cartoon. It's a good story, but for adults, you're definitely gonna get a kick out of this movie. It was just really, really well done. I watched the extended cut. I never saw this in theaters, so it's my first time watching it. So I don't know what the difference between the extended cut and the theatrical cut was. I can kind of make some ideas, because there were a few scenes in this where I was like, wow, how do they get away with that? It seemed a bit maybe too adult a couple of times, so maybe there was some of the cut scenes. I don't know. I'll have to watch the theatrical cut, but yeah, again, really, really well done. If you're a fan of CGI films, or just like you just want to watch a really, really, really good story and a really funny story, this you have to check out. Just Rango is fantastic. So that's it for what I watched today. Again, A Simple Twist of Fate. I watched this yesterday. Sorry for forgetting to talk about it, but it was a great film. And today I picked up Wild Wild West soundtrack. It's alright. Also grabbed the Grease soundtrack. Fantastic. Everybody must own this. A Gunman Betty Lou's Handbag. Look forward to checking this one out. Hopefully it's as good as everybody says. Chasers. Tons of cheese. Love this film. Apocalypse Now. Redo. I think that's how you pronounce that. Great. I mean, I remember watching the original. It was a great film, so look forward to watching the extended cut. And the last thing I picked up was King Solomon's Mine. It's a canon film. I do not care if this movie is good or bad. Has to be in my collection. And then I watched Rango, which was fantastic. You all should see this movie. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya.